Okay. Um, so it's my purpose to continuously put things in perspective as I'm being mentally manipulated in my, in a on a daily basis, on an hourly basis, on a minute basis. I mean, when you're a target individual and you're a target individual who's going through with the V2K, this technology truly erases and manipulates you on a constant, on a non-stop level, right? It's just continuously trying to change things, manipulate things, create things. It's trying to make you accept things that you know yourself will never identify too big, knowing that it's just manipulations. And their job is truly to make you be identifying to something that's falsified. At this point with me, it's never gonna happen, and I made it clear. And this is why I make videos, right? These videos are continuously not only a way to vent, a way to testimony, testimonies of what's happening to me, and also a way to just, you know, I think reassure myself at least, or let this trash whose job is to try to deceive, distort, and disorient you, to understand that this is not, I'm not gonna subscribe to it. Now my brain is gonna go the way it needs to go, because the technology just truly influences you to think in every way possible. And so today I'll talk about these things, right? So we target individual are human subjects. We are human subjects, and this, you know, they're just utilizing us, our brain, especially when you go through the V2K. That's when you know that they are experimenting on you and implementing technology onto you that is unbelievably sophisticated and advanced. And it just once you understand that, you're like, okay, well, there's a system here that's been applied onto me, that's been being applied on others. And you hear this other target individuals who literally say the same thing. As I'm saying that, I can hear the people around me. This is what you call perps. Perps are this contracted trash the government contracts. Their job is to do these three things: deceive, disorient, and distort. Right now, one trash, it's purpose, a contracted trash. Her duty right now is to distort, or sorry, disorient what I'm doing, meaning that try to distract me as I'm describing what's happening to me, in order to kind of provide my testimony. They want you to stick within the bubble of this realm they put together. So this bottom feeder will do one of those three things at all time. They will deceive, they will distort, and they will disorient you. These are things that just that word just came when I was looking for something specific, and I realized this is exactly what these perps do, right? These tactics of disorienting and deceiving and distort is all they do around you as this technology is being implemented onto you. And it's trying to get you to be identifying and confuse you while you are seeing things for what they are. They try to kind of like get you to be subscriptive, be fearful, be to the point of you trying to make you identify with this thing. So yesterday, I'll write notes, like I'll write 3 lines: one for deceiving, one for distortion, and one for disorientation, right? There's 3 Ds, and there's always one of them being used, always. Either just one or maybe multiple at the same time. They distort something, they disorient. Disorientation is always on top. Like they always try to disorient you. That's the word that you. Deceiving is just like trying to make you subscribe to like this reality they put together. Right? They try to deceive you to think a way that they want you to think, but they truly, and because it's not going to work. The disorientation is what they've done to me a lot, and they distort reality big time, and they call it their reality, which is the distortion of reality. They always feel these 3. Right now, for example, they're bringing up because with me there's been this consistent trying to make me accept these pedophilia things they make me experience. It's been always what they've been doing to me. It's so nasty, and then every time they do this to me, because I'm not subscribing to that, they start disorienting me. To try to just, oh, this is gonna rape you. He's gonna torture you. He's gonna do so much horrible things to you. Now, I'm not saying that this is not gonna happen, but the reason why they're saying that is to purpose of disorienting you while this is happening, because I see it for what it is. These people manipulating my brain, my brain to react and perceive things in these disgusting ways, in these pedophilia ways. They make me have sexual reactions. Like, they can stimulate my libido or create some kind of sensation stimulations that are not just specific to the libido, or my brain is just getting like some perceptions. So it's something sexual that is implemented onto me when there's children. For example, right now they're making me think of, and my memories have been so disturbed and so manipulated, and they go back to my memories and can play with my memories, right? There's this thing, I remember watching this talk show guy. He went to like Haiti, and I remember watching that, even though it was shortly after the my V2K. I didn't remember getting the stimulations that they make me have today. Sometime earlier, I remember they were just trying to be settled. Not settled, but there were times when they weren't just like bombarding me with this nasty stimulation. Then they'll bombard me. It was so nasty. Now it's just like they don't. It's just like another level, because my brain at this point is more manipulated. Things feels more like ingrained. But for example, he went to this place in Haiti, and there was like this wholesome moment when there's like little kids touching his skin, because it's the first time they've seen like a white skin like that, and it was a wholesome moment, and it was just like something that was wholesome. At the moment, I didn't get the disturbing things. They didn't make me experience this thing, at least, and to the point where I was like, did I see that before or after? Because I didn't remember getting the stimulation. They would force me to get sexual stimulation if that would happen anytime now. So I was almost surprised it was right after August 19, 2019, because I was like, I don't remember getting any stimulations. For some reason, they just didn't do it. So every once in a while they would not do it, just rarely, but every once in a while they just like give me like a break, like a second of like just not making me have this nasty reaction. But now they're going back to that and giving me stimulations, right? They're going back to that memory and making me experience a stimulation that, if they wanted at the time, they could have made me experience it at the time, but they didn't. So they can play with your memories, and it's just so nasty. And that's still after August 19, 2019. But sometimes what they do, they go way before August 19, 2019 and make me experience a memory and implant stimulations. So there's been a lot of manipulations on my memory, right? And then they try to deceive you into accepting this false memory as if that's how you experience that memory, right? We are human subjects, target individual, for some of the most sophisticated technology. We know that memory manipulation is something the commercial world is addressing right now, because they are prepping, and I like to show, like, go look for ethical journals and medical journals about the ethics of memory modulation that are coming up in this world. Like, they're prepping for the day where devices that can modulate your memories will be available for the commercial world. But it's been already, like, they've been working, like, these military entities and these agencies, these intelligence agencies that work on this technology have already been on this. They're already doing these things, right? We know that the commercial world is a little bit late, right? Maybe, I don't know, 60 years or so in backwards, while these military grade technologies have been very much in advance. And so they've already prepped in the commercial world preparation of there's going to be technology that can manipulate and modulate your memories. So we should be prepped. And they literally, and it's so funny because when you read these journals, they address things that you couldn't believe. It's like, oh, give me a second. Sorry. It's like this doctors writing this ethical know what the danger of this technology. One of the danger is like the ability to change a person. If you manipulate the person's memory, you can try to change the self image of a person by manipulating his memories, and that's what they've been doing to me. But going to my memories, making me create stimulation sensation that I wasn't experiencing at the time. So that today, when I'm getting this manipulation, they say, "Oh, we are matching to what you were. That was you. That is you. You see, remember this memory," and they deceive you into thinking that this memory is a memory that's not being falsified and manipulate you, and and try to make you accept this false memory so you can accept this identity. They do that all the time. They try to like find something so and it's change you in different ways. I mean, some things are not as extreme as these pedophilia things, but they try to change you as much as they can. And changing your memories is a key tactic they've been using too, to make you accept this manipulation they make you experience today. You see, these tactics are so obviously put together in a way that you think that it's like the intelligence community is definitely like is involved in it. For me, for sure, I have no doubt at this point. There was somebody who was just like, you know, bragging about the fact that he knew that he knew a CIA agent, randomly telling me that, and it was like out of not close to any conversation we were having conversation about the weekends. It's like, how's your weekend? And he would just tell me, he would tell me something like, and they're doing a disorientation tactic to disorient me from this reality. See, they try to disorient things from putting things in perspective. They're disorienting me saying that, but try to bring something else in order to disorient this perception of reality. So this person was just telling me out of nowhere, he told me that, you know, he knows CIA. And I was confused because I didn't ask about anything about CIA. I was just asking him, what do you do? Like, you sound like you do you do anything exciting? Like, I asked him, do you do anything exciting? Because, you know, at that point he was married. He's very young, but he was already married and like lived his life like he was like an older man. He's like, do you do anything exciting? And he just randomly said he knew CIA. He knew a CIA person or a CIA agent. I'm like, what? So, okay, like, it's just so random, right? It's just obviously he wanted me to know this fact. Now looking back now, I understand what he meant. He meant that, you know, he was trying to let me know that. And he said, and the funny thing, he said that and started looking at me like, just kind of stared at me. I'm like, okay, what? You know, at that point it's like, what would CIA want from me? What, you know? So I have no idea. Like, why would you say CIA? CIA would do well. Like, he was trying to make me be scared of something, and I was like, dude, CIA that doesn't want anything from me. Like, I'm not gonna be scared of CIA. What would the CIA want? Like, he's just like, pfft. And so as I'm saying that right now, distortion. Sorry, not even distortion. Disorientation. Somebody's outside yelling something. They'll take that. Right? And this is a way to try to disorient you, because they're trying to go into like the stories of they try to come up together in the BS narration, which is distorted. It's funny. They did like 2 in 1. They disoriented me and tried to bring up a distorted story that they distorted themselves. It's all about this. Like, those 3 Ds, deceptions, disorientation, and distortion, is what they do. And if you know where I got it from, it's interesting. You know, I was kind of, because I noticed there's a lot of like biblical aspect of these things. This is technological, please understand. I understand that too. I know it's easy to fall into like, oh, this is only spiritual. This spiritual aspect could be involved in that, but in the realm of this world, this is purely technology. And I was looking, just because the way they just things are just very like biblical, and this is and I was Google something, and they say something about this Satan use 3 tactics: disorientation, distortion, and deceptions. That's all they do to me right? Now, I'm not saying that these people are agent of the Satan, whatever. They can, it's for them to figure that out. I don't care about their spiritual aspect of things. But it is also kind of funny that this is a tactic that they use with me all the time. They try to disorient, distort, and deceive non-stop. That's the life they live on. So for me, knowing that these entities, which would be those entities that will come up with these tactics that are disorienting, distortion, and deceptions, are involved. I know the CIA is 100% involved in my targeting. Now, they don't like that, because the reality is this pedophilia type of issues we've been hearing from, there's a lot of it came from the CIA. There's been a lot of agents, or there's been a big problem with pedophilia in those agencies, specifically in the CIA and other entities in the intelligence community. Now, as these people disorient you, deceive you, and distort reality, they actually work for entities. Of course, those entities came up with these tactics that have the problem with pedophilia. And so when they try to manipulate you and distort memories and distort reality and distort narrations in order to leave off this fantasy they put together for you to accept this, you realize that these people actually have been projecting reality, because these people work in an environment where this is extremely pedophilia-centric. There is a true culture, it seems like, of pedophilia in these agencies. Once you read this BuzzFeed article and you hear the stories of people like going overseas, bringing up child porn, distributing it to other co-workers, people subscribing to like child porn website and pay monthly subscriptions. I mean, it's just like non-stop. It's just gonna there's a lot of nastiness there. There's nasty, lot of pedophilia things, disturbing things. And so with me, there's been a psyop, like I said, deceiving, distorting, and disorienting. PSYOP is one of that. The PSYOP they've been presenting themselves as is this: first of all, they're protecting women. They are protecting children. And they are investigating. And they use this PSYOP, mostly, not all the time, of these women who try to be like, oh, we are at war. And they use this like either childlike individuals or like progressive, woke, like it's and like it tried to like, you know, that's like new progressive like kind of look of like this progressive woman that just, and it's so disturbing. And or like a mother with for their children, it's like, I do that for my kids, and in reality this trash have sold their soul to this entity filled with pedophiles, finding out this is a cultural pedophilia. And they have been just trying everything to deceive me and disorient me and distort reality to make me believe that, oh, it's our money, it's our war, it's our budget. We don't, because there's so many testimonials of women being tortured and even children being tortured these same ways I'm being tortured, showing a clear pattern that these people doing these things to me have done this to women and children. But they're trying to disorient, distort, and deceive you into accepting this fantasy they put together. These 3 Ds have been used all the time, one way or another. Now, I understand this is the tactics that you will hear like this intelligence community really master. Kind of tactically create the same tactics that you would say the devil in this different realm will utilize: deceive, disorient, and distort. Now, I'm not bringing the religion aspect of anything here. I'm just saying those 3 terms have been utilized all the time. Right now, I'm being disoriented by somebody saying, we're going to see you in court. They're saying these things to disorient what I'm saying. Random things. Because reality is something they're trying to distort. Disorienting me is one thing they try to do in order for me to accept these deceptions and falsify of reality they've put together. So target individual, always think about those 3 Ds. Now, I understand it's so easy to see this in this spiritual way, which I'm not saying is not, right? But I think if you need to see this thing for what it is, right? As I'm saying what I'm saying, somebody's disorienting me, and I'm saying via V2K. V2K is the technology that can project voices onto your brain. Somebody just said you're fired to disorient me. Not that if it's true or not, I don't care. But the reason why that person is trying to disorient me is because I want to say that we need to look at this in the technology aspect of things. And yes, there's definitely a lot of spiritual thing that I can, it's just so hard to escape that part. But for the purpose of understanding these people and how they can try to make you accept these things, you have to look at this thing also in the technological aspect of things and understand that we are guinea pigs for this technology, that they are improving and continuously improving for obviously horrible things. At least that's what's being implemented onto us for. Maybe at one point it'll be transitioned to the commercial world where they can do a lot of good things to people. It can change people in good ways, but for us, it's meant to break us down and disturb us to the point of suicide. And they're gonna disorient, distort, and create a deceivedness that you won't even understand how it's so retarded. Right now, I don't even want to bring the distortion of reality they're trying to bring up, but that's the things they do. And they create this low fantasy and put this fantasy and reality they've manipulated themselves into trying to get you to accept. So, yes, target individual, we are lucky in some sense. I think there's nobility in what we go through. It's horrible. We're suffering. And I know these people who've been doing their best to create this fantasy of a psyop they hate the fact that I see them for what they are, instead of what they wanted me to be seeing them as via the disorientation, this distortion, and the deceptions that they've been implementing onto me. But thanks to the testimonials,